Hello, guys. It's Today I'm interviewing Carl Draper from Boxing Royalty. It's always good to have you on, mate.
Thank you. I appreciate that. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, mate. You?
Yeah, busy as always, mate, but can't complain.
Yeah. So have you been like working on your tops and stuff today?
I've literally, what's the time now? 6:30. I literally got in from work about 45 minutes ago, come in, printed all my bits, and tonight I'll be pressing them as soon as we're done before chilling out about 9 o'clock before work tomorrow again.
Oh, do you do something else as well as printing?
Yeah, I wish I did it full time, and that's the plan by the end of the year. But I work in sales, so I'm busy 8 till 5, Monday to Friday, and every other Saturday too.
Yeah, but you save up some Saturdays when your fighters are fighting.
Oh yeah, if any of my friends or anyone that I'm working with are fighting and I can be there, then I'll be there. You know, like for instance, Jack versus Paul Roberts. I was meant to be working. I booked the day off, and I was straight down to York Court about 3 o'clock, I think.
Really? So you got there quite early?
Yeah, I met one of Jack's new sponsors, Justin and his wife Louise, Hunters Weatherby. I met them early, as well as obviously Rod Forrestal and Sons. So we had a bit of food and a couple of drinks before we went into the boxing about 6.
Yeah, because I think the first fight was on like 6:30.
Yeah, we was there from the start. So yeah, I
Yes,
think it was.
so was I. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing you there. Did you enjoy that night?
Yeah, I mean, of course, I wanted like Paul to win and Idris and stuff, but at least Jamie Smith won, which was good.
Jamie was brilliant, you know,
Oh,
and
he destroyed him, didn't he?
without blowing smoke up Jamie's bum, I'd been down in training, not in training, but I'd been down and seen him spar. And Jamie won't mind me saying this, but obviously Mendes is a southpaw, and he sparred a I think he's 26, Harvey Dykes,
Oh
who I'm
yeah,
actually
I've seen
working
you
with.
talking about him recently.
Yeah, I'm working with him at the minute. He's really good, and he give
What
Jamie a
weight's
hard
he?
time. He's a heavyweight. I think he's
Oh, so
actually
he's a big
sparring
lad.
AJ. Yeah, I think he's sparring AJ for the Usyk fight.
Is he?
Yeah, so mate, he's a very good southpaw, and he's one to watch. But Jamie won't mind me saying the first spar, Jamie found it tough. You know, he got out the ring and he had the ump, and then not visibly, he just went in, cleaned himself up and left. And then I went down there 3 weeks later, the Saturday before the fight, and it was Jamie had come on leaps and bounds. As soon as I see Jamie in that last spar, I knew that it wasn't going any more than 3 rounds.
Yeah. Did you stay around for that fight?
Yeah, because obviously, shout out to Andy Gill, Jamie's trainer. He got me backstage passes, so I spent most of the night watching the boxing. I went back and see Jack, and then I was in Jamie's changing room about 10 minutes before he ring walked, and then literally got to my seat, watched the first round, and then obviously we know what happened. Second round, it was good night Mendes
Yes.
up the
Also,
Mark Little.
did you So who was Jack sharing a changing room with Liam Dillon?
Yes, they. So when we first got there, when I first went in to see Jack, Liam was just warming up, and I actually see Liam's opponent before the fight as well.
Marcus
And
Hodgson.
yeah, he seemed very confident when I was speaking to him. But listen, Liam Dillon's a fantastic fighter, and I
He
would have
was going
liked
to
to have
fight
seen that.
for the Commonwealth.
Yeah, final eliminator. So that would have been a good fight, I think, and hopefully that can get made for Liam soon because, like I say, Liam's a serious talent.
Yeah. But as soon as it started, I knew that Liam was going to get him out of there as soon as from the start.
Yeah, I think it was expected. I see Marcus Hodgson fight Ramirez in March. I think
Yeah,
it was. Yeah,
on
March.
the little undercard, yeah. Because
Yeah,
I was
that's
there
it.
for Mahmood.
Yeah, and I like Ramirez, and I think it's disappointing that he hurt his shoulder. I think it was, but
Because they were meant to
Marcus
fight for a title, them two.
meant to be a Southern area shot as well. Yeah, but
Mahmood
hopefully,
would have got him out of there.
yeah, I believe he would have, and I don't now think that Marcus will get that Southern area shot after being stopped in the first round. It was a bit of a risk taking that fight, if I'm honest.
I mean, he went up a load of weights.
Yeah, I think they kind of met in the middle. I think Liam come down one and Marcus went up three. It was just, well, like I say, I walked in I was just coming out the toilet and I see the first bell, and by the time I come out the toilet, it was over, and I was like, "What has happened there?"
But when you came out of the loo, did you know that? Did you see Liam Dillon's arm get raised?
All I see was both of them stood in the middle, so I was thinking, "Blimey, what's happened?" And then obviously I see that Liam had his arm raised, and I went into his changing room and I said, "Look, well done, mate. Get that Commonwealth shot now and move forward." But obviously he's not with Goodwin no more, so it'd be
Is he
interesting to
not?
see where he goes. No, I think they parted ways a few months back.
I thought Jack was sharing a changing room with Jamie.
Yeah, I think they were going to, but obviously Goodwin he sorts it all out, and I think where Liam fought so early, it give Jack a couple of hours on his own in his changing room with his team. So I
That's
think it
fair
worked
enough.
out better. Yeah, rather than sharing with Jamie and being together all night in each other's way, you've got to do a lot of
He
pad
had
work.
more space then.
Yeah, Jack's changing room was fairly big. It was, a decent size. Jamie was downstairs because I spent about 20 minutes trying to find him because his trainer got me one of his shirts and I was trying to find him to put it on and I couldn't find them, but they were underneath the stage.
Oh, so was
But
Jamie on his own in his changing
yeah,
room?
Jake. Well, when I got down there, I don't know if anyone was in there before because I know in the room next door was that Josh Gustave. He had the
Oh, the
underground.
guy in the co-main event.
Yeah, but it was a big change. It was a nice size.
I was speaking to Paul. I think it was. I can't remember. I think it was on Monday, and he said that he was sharing with all the journeymen.
Yeah, see, the problem when you're the away fighter, you kind of do just get pushed. You're not the priority. So if you look at that card, Jamie was headlining, so he got the big changing room, and then it
Why
just goes
would
down.
Mendes not have got a big changing room? Because he was also, well, he was the champion going into the fight.
He had his own one because I walked in his room on accident, and he didn't look too happy with me, probably because he knows what I said about Mark Little. But I walked in, and he had probably a bit bigger than Jack's, to be fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good.
What did he say to you when you went into his one?
He kind of just looked at me. Like I walked in the door, and obviously by that point I'd had a couple of drinks. I wasn't drunk or anything, but I just walked in because I was happy on Jack. And he just like kind of looked round at me, and he just had like his shorts, not his fight shorts, had like bicycle shorts on with his groin guard. Kind of just looked round at me as if to say, "Who the are you?"
Yeah. Oh, did he know that you wanted Jamie to win?
I don't know because I see him at the weigh-in, and obviously everyone knows the personal things I have towards Mendes, and it's nothing against Mendes at all.
It's
like
mainly against the referee, really. Mate.
Yeah, he weren't the judge, and when I see him at the weigh-in, I thought, "Blimey, you're bigger than I thought." And but no, I don't think so. He see me at the weigh-in, so he might have thought, "Look, he's here with one or two people, Jamie or Jack Hughes." And when he see me walking, he probably thought, "Well, he's still knocking about, so he is part of Team Smith." Who knows?
But yeah.
I'm just a merchandiser, mate. I don't want no trouble.
Yeah. Oh, so would you never get in the ring for would you get in the ring for a charity fight?
Yeah, I was supposed to about 18 months ago, but I've got a broken nose, so my nose is broke. I had an operation in October.
Oh,
and it's now
how
broke.
did it break?
Probably being an idiot when I was younger, if I'm honest with you. But the bit between my nostrils is now broke, and I can't breathe properly, so I can't do nothing until then. But I spoke with a few people. I've taken some advice. I spoke with Will Jones about it and said, what advice could you give me in time to do it? By the way, Will Jones is. There's 3 trainers in boxing that I've come face to face with that stand out to me, and I'm telling you, Will Jones is going to get to the top of this game. There is absolutely no doubt about it. He works tirelessly. He cares. He does the best for his fighters. And
he
the other two,
great fighters.
Yeah, he does, but he's earned that. They haven't walked into his gym. They've seen him. O'Hara Davis wouldn't have gone with Will if he didn't know he was any good.
Yeah,
and the same
O'Hara was fighting the likes of Catterall and Taylor.
Exactly. So look, Will deserves that, and Will become a world champion trainer. And another one is Kieran Duffy, who trains Jack. Not a lot of people
Does he train
know
any other fighter but Jack?
Yeah, he trains Razor Ali, who's a Western fighter. Yeah, he's very good. And listen, I saw a different side to Kieran in this camp. You could see that he'd done what most trainers do, but it was just a different side to him. From 8 weeks out, it was like it was a week out. And Kieran is probably the nicest man I've ever met in my life. He's just such a nice guy. And the other one is Jamie's trainer, Andy Gill. You know, he's done a lot in the amateurs, and he's now turned over pro with the Frimpongs.
Oh,
Jamie
Lewis
Gill
Frimpong is good, isn't he?
Yeah, there's big
You know,
news.
he's fighting Hodgson on the 10th of September.
Yeah, and then I think you might see some big news if he wins that night.
Oh, maybe a title shot because he's good.
Who knows? We'll see what happens.
Are you doing merch for him?
I might be working with the team in regards to social media more than merch. You know, Andy's got a company that he uses for all their printing. But I might be with my social media side of things, you know, the graphics I do. I think he wants me to do a bit for them. So, yeah, if they need anything, Andy knows he can call me and I'll do it.
Because Andy has quite a few fighters.
Yeah, I think he's got
Brandon
Jamie
Webb.
Yeah, the two Frimpongs, Jamie and Jules Horwood. He was with his son, Pat, but I think he's gone with someone else now.
Didn't Pat draw to Lee Hallett?
Yes, I spoke to Lee after that fight. Yeah, apparently it's a really good fight.
Yes, because I've watched Lee fight quite a few times.
Yeah, Lee, people say to me about Lee, the thing with Lee is he's different to every other journeyman. If you want to give it to him, he'll rough you up and he'll play that game and he'll make it uncomfortable for you rather than just boxing. You know,
Yeah.
Lee and Lee's actually fighting one of my friends very soon, Tommy Murphy, and I spoke to Tommy last night about it. And Tommy said, "Look, the last 3 times I've seen Lee box, he's won, and he hasn't obviously won."
Well, he hasn't got the decision.
No, of course, but big respect to Tommy Murphy. You know, 2-0 prospect.
He's
big
a good fighter, Tommy.
Yeah, very good fighter. You know, if he stays committed and he listens to what his coach has say, Alec Wilkie, he could go far in this game. He's only young as well.
Yeah, he is young.
Yeah.
Will you be at his fight?
Yes, I think a few of us are going from Jack's fight. So I think me, Jack,
who do you want to win, or are you just neutral because you like both?
Yeah, that's a fight where, you know, Tommy's my friend, Lee's my ambassador, and that is just a fight where, look, Tommy should win because we know why Lee's there, but you know, you don't know on the night. And
in the crowd, will you say like, or will you just be sat there neutral? Really?
Yeah, I'll just watch it. It won't be a case of shouting. You know, there's a few boys on that card. Jordan Perkis, I hope he gets the win. You know, he's a great fighter, fantastic.
He's a great lad.
Yeah, I really like Jordan. You know, every time I've been down to
it, Jordan was telling me that they're throwing a title in that fight.
Yeah, I think as we're speaking now, there's a bit of a face-off down at the gym.
Yes.
And it's probably already been announced. But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say, but yeah, I've heard similar things, bantamweight. So listen, it's a bit. You've got to give respect to Jordan. Jordan's only had 4 fights, and to step in with Ryan
the other guy's 12-3 or something.
Exactly, and this other guy seems to be a bit. I don't know. Jordan messaged me yesterday and said, "Carl, look, he's putting pictures up like crossing Jordan's face off of a poster and putting smoke." Listen, I think Jordan again working with Will. It's a great little gym, and I really hope that, you know, there was talk of Jack and Jordan. I think you're going to see news from Jack very soon.
Jack said he's on the 12th of November.
Yes, just keep an eye out. Obviously, this will be out afterwards. Just keep an eye. Obviously, Jack's putting a post out tonight on his next move. There's some big news coming. I don't think it'll be what people expect, but for me, it's the right decision. So yeah, we'll see. But listen,
whatever's best for Jack, really, because he's had 2 close fights against Roberts. You can at least. I know you think Jack won both of them, and of course, I think. Well, I thought Paul's done enough, but again, it's the judge.
That's the thing with these close fights. You know, people are always gonna have their opinions. And Paul said something very, very good on the podcast the other night. He said, you know, Yorkville is seen from so many different angles. If you see it from the floor, it looked like Jack absolutely schooled Paul because you couldn't see everything happening. If you watched it from our side, it looked like Jack won. And then people on the other side are seeing it from a different angle.
Well,
but look, Jack.
I was like in the middle, you know, where the door is, and then I was like on that bit closest to the balcony. Yeah.
You can see it from so many different ways. But listen, Jack's been in. I spend a lot of time with Jack when he's in camp. I travel all the way down to Pug with him. And Jack loves his sweets and his sugar, and he can't live without it. And listen, you look at the last 2 fights with Paul, there was 2 big head clashes in there, which split.
The second fight, there was a head clash.
Yeah, in the 7th, it was a head clash.
Oh, but
And
Paul, I thought it was an uppercut that Paul hit.
no, that was the 8th round. So Jack was cut in the 7th, which obviously
Jack
stopped his
said he
vision in his
couldn't
left.
see for a few
Yeah,
rounds.
and then he got caught with a massive uppercut to which pulled through beautifully, and it blinded him. So Jack couldn't see for the last 3 rounds. But listen,
Paul said to me that he didn't realise he was hurt. So if he knew that he was hurt, he would have jumped at him to try and stop him.
that's it, and that's the same. When we spoke the other night, Jack said that he hit Paul in the 9th or the 10th, and he didn't realise Paul was hurt. But when you watch the video, you see Paul's legs just go. And Paul said, I didn't feel hurt, but I clearly was, because you could see by my reaction to the 3 shots. But listen,
I thought Jack might have stopped him in that last round.
The way he come out was, like I said, Jack, I'd been down to pug with Jack about 10 times, and he looked phenomenal. But I never knew the game plan. So when I see the first 4 or 5 rounds, and I'd give Jack every round up until round 5, I was thinking,
you had it 4-1.
I had it 4-1 at the halfway point.
Yeah, that is kind of fair enough. I can see.
Yeah, and I think Paul said it to us the other night. You know, he said he started too slow.
He said that he won that second round, though. That's what he said to me.
Yeah, I mean, you could argue there was probably 3 or 4 rounds in the fight where it could have gone either way. What I like to see in boxing, whether this was Paul or Jack, is that jab. If you're landing that jab and keeping someone off you, you're winning that round, regardless of whether one big one comes in. So after halfway, I'd given Paul a round. I was thinking, what's going on here? This isn't the Jack I've seen in training. Then obviously,
just because you had Paul winning 1 round, because like every fighter loses at least.
No, I thought it was going to be closer. I thought it was going to be. I genuinely, when I went to the weigh-in and I see the shape Paul was in, I panicked. I was worried.
He was in good shape, though.
Phenomenal shape.
He had no excuses when I interviewed him. No excuses.
No, I mean, the only thing he said to us about, which was similar to Jack, the only excuse they both really had, and Jack's an excuse, obviously got the decision, was they couldn't get the sparring.
That's what he said to me.
Jack got cut 10 days out in sparring quite badly. He had a big old black eye. Yeah, I think it was a Wednesday the week before. And he got it in sparring, and the tape caught him under the eye, and his eye come up all black. Yeah,
that must have hurt.
Yeah, he said it was sore, and I didn't think he was going to make it to fight night. I thought it was going to be off, but Jack heals quick. You look at Jack now; it's a week after, and everything's gone. But listen, Paul Roberts, what a man! I tried not hating the guy physically, but in my mind, just tried to hate him because Jack's my boy.
Yeah, that's fair enough, mate.
Exactly, and nobody knew who Paul was. People did, and Paul said the other night he's from an area that doesn't support boxing as much as it should.
Yeah, like Somerset. I think he's from Somerset.
Yeah, and I really do hope that Paul gets a shot at the Southern Area title next. I really do hope he does.
To me, he said that he's going to go out in November, try and get a 6-round fight, I think he said, and then go back to the titles probably early next year.
Well, listen, when we see what's going on with Jack, things might happen sooner. You don't know. Jack might move on and vacate, and they might go, well, hang on a minute. Paul Roberts has had 20 rounds of absolute carnage, arguably won 10 of them rounds or 9 of them rounds. And it's, because I give both fights 6-4, 6-4. But you could argue
I wouldn't mind seeing Jack use the, what's he called? Simba?
I think that Thomas Assomba's very underrated, because he's on the showstoppers. People look at him like he should lose. But
what about
mate, he's
Braithwaite? He would be decent.
Yeah, I think, look, mate, in my mind, if Jack does a full camp, he could beat anybody, at this level. But
not like British level.
Yeah, maybe English, British level. The English champion, I think, is Dale Arrowsmith. And he's I think it is. I can't remember. It's one of the journeymen, or he was a journeyman. He's not no more.
Oh.
I can't think of his name. You know exactly who I'm thinking of.
Oh, was it Craig Derbyshire?
Craig Derbyshire, not Dale Arrowsmith. That's it.
Oh, and he's an interviewed that guy before. Yeah, he's
unbelievable.
He's not a bad fighter.
I think he won the British. Personally, I think he
was against Tommy Frank.
Was it Tommy Frank? It might have been, or the other one.
It was Tommy Frank, I think.
When he got done on a knockdown in the last round, he was pushed over and they give it a knockdown. Yeah, see. But listen, we'll see what happens with Jack. Obviously, I know what's happening with Jack, but
Yeah,
I
you can't
genuinely
give it away just yet.
no, it's probably already out while we're on this, but I
But
really
I'll
do
have
hope
a
that
look
Paul gets
after
a shot.
this interview to see what it is.
Yeah, and I think that'll kick Paul up the arse to get straight back in the gym as
I
he
mean,
already is.
I would like to see him fight for an English. So maybe.
Yeah, I think he deserves it. You know, the
Or
amount
would
of
he
time.
go down to flyweight, or is he sticking at super fly?
I think his trainer wanted him to go to flyweight, but I think Jack, you know, he's 30 now. He's been in 2 absolute wars. I think
With
he's just
Paul?
comfortable sticking at that weight and just moving on. Yeah, look,
What
with
was a
Paul,
harder? What was harder fight for him? The 2 fights against Paul, or the one against that little, that
he said that he said Paul Roberts is the best man he shared a ring with. That was
Really?
Jack's.
So
Yeah.
you think Paul would beat Ricky Little?
Oh, 100%. Mate, I can't say too much about Ricky because I had a message the other night about what I said on our podcast. But
Really?
he,
what,
yeah,
from Ricky?
no, someone that supports him or so, I don't know. But if Kieran Duffy was training Jack for the Ricky Little fight, he'd have stopped Ricky Little that night.
So who trained Jack before that, Kieran?
He's had a few, but I think he trained himself for the Ricky Little fight. I don't think he had a trainer.
What?
He was
So
with
didn't
somebody.
Have anyone in his corner?
He did on the night, but he's been with a few that have just messed him about. I know there. I won't mention names.
That's a shame.
Yeah, he's always been sort of messed about, and he's finally happy now where he is. As he said, Kieran's one of his best friends now.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Now, was he wearing the same shorts as he was in his first fight? Because they were the same colour and everything.
The first fight he had like grey and pink, and this fight he had white and pink, and he's got to buy new ones for his next fight again. I think Paul Roberts should pay
blood
for it.
on them.
Yeah, they're covered. We'll send that bill to Paul.
He's got to, like, what Jack needs to do, he's got to frame, like, all of his shorts, like,
he has.
the ones he
won.
So
after the first fight, they give him the gloves. So he's got the gloves and the shorts, and they're all covered in blood. They stink. And he's going to get them framed. And then he's going to do the second. Them? No, because it's monumental, when having the blood on it, it shows what went through that night.
Yeah.
It's like,
I think he should frame the ones where he got the decision, like the win.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Am I right in saying that's his first title win?
Yeah, the only other shot he had was obviously the first fight, and then the Ricky Little first fight.
Oh yeah.
Out of 8 that never happened.
Did he get his gloves back from the fight against Paul the second time?
I don't know, because obviously Jack was taken into the medical room, and then he weren't allowed up to his changing room for like half an hour because they said he couldn't go up the stairs because of the cut. They wouldn't allow him go too far.
Did they not let Paul go to the changing room?
I think so, because I don't think Paul was... Well, Paul was cut, but I don't think it was a cut that needed stitches. Jack needed all stitches around his eye.
Did you see Paul's hand at the end of the fight?
Yeah, terrible. We was talking about it the other night. He said that he thought it was broken. They told him it was broken, and he went back to Somerset, and it was all right. So, listen, you break your hand as a boxer, you could have problems for years there. So I'm glad they're not broke.
Yeah, because when I took a photo with him after the fight, he had loads of marks like on his chest.
And he had
an ice pack on his hand. Yeah, I think I sent you the photo.
Yeah, I've got one with Paul as well. You know, to be fair to Paul, he come up to me and he just put his arms around me and said, just thank Jack. He said, thank Jack for the chance. And, you know, there's not many men out there that would come and do that. They'd walk out with the ump and you wouldn't hear from them again.
And they'll go out all in a mood, like a bit.
Yeah.
Well, of course, Paul's a bit gutted.
Yeah, 100%. He's got every right to be
really
gutted,
wanted that title.
He felt like he'd done enough in the first fight, and he was probably confident in the second fight. And even he said it to us the other night. He didn't expect Jack to box how he did.
Yeah.
And I think that's what threw him off, and it cost him rounds. You know, until the 7th, you could argue Paul only really won maybe 2 rounds, but that's not Paul's fault. That's just a testament to Jack's boxing on the night.
Yeah. What about Tycee Gallagher? What were your thoughts on her fight?
Listen, I think without going into too much, I think Tycee started slow. You know, she didn't get behind her jab quick enough. But I scored the fight on the night. I give it to Tycee 6-4, and when I rewatched it, I give it a draw. But I do think Nina Hughes was lucky to escape, not losing any points. There was a lot of back of the head hitting, and look, Tycee was holding a lot, But when you're fighting someone that knocks people out for fun, when it gets up close, you're going to hold on. You're going to clinch. Everybody does it. But when she was pulling down on Ticey and bang on the back of the head, it was, even the whole venue see it. And when you've got, this is a problem with boxing. If Ticey had done that, they'd have taken a point because she was fighting away.
Wait, was that Nia's home show?
Yes.
Because that's why they were lifting Nia up.
Yeah, and look, as terms of the fight goes, you can't argue the decision. I think 97-93 is way too wide. There's no way that it was that.
One of them gave it a draw.
Yeah, and I agree with that. It was close. And look, if they'd have said 96,
I had maybe
94,
one round to Nia. Sorry, mate, but it was.
No, that's fair. Listen, and on these fights, on these close fights, everyone's opinion is going to be different. But look, I've got no bad blood towards Nina. Look, she's a fantastic fighter, and I wish her all the best. And listen, Ticey
maybe
Gallagher,
a rematch.
Maybe down the line. But look, Nina's obviously 39, nearly 40. She wants that world title next. Ticey can take a few fights, get that Commonwealth, and I'm telling you now, and I mean this, Ticey Gallagher will be a multi-weight.
Nia's 39 already.
Yeah.
She's a bit of a late starter then.
She did a lot in the amateurs, didn't she? But as I say, Ticey's 24. That lady will be a multi-weight world champion, I'm telling you. 100%.
Do you think she's the next Katie Taylor, really?
I think she like maybe she boxes good. Yeah, I think, bantamweight, all around that weight, drop to super fly, move up to super bantamweight, whatever it is. I think she'll win multiple world titles at different weights. Definitely. She's got another 10 years in the game.
Yeah, she's a great fighter.
Yeah, 100%. And she's a lovely girl as well,
And one loss doesn't define you as well.
No, especially in women's boxing or in any boxing. I don't know why I say women's, but any boxing, some of the greatest fighters ever lost. And listen, you don't know how good you are until you
lost over. Some people have lost like 11 fights, and been world champion. And
you look at Chisora.
Look at Derek Chisora.
Exactly that.
He's always in a good fight.
And that's it. And I think
he deserved that win though against Pulev. It was always going to happen eventually.
Yeah, I was down Pug and I see him the week before the fight and I see the shape he was in and it changed my mind.
Did you see the week before the fight?
Chisora.
Or did you get a photo with him?
No, I didn't want to approach him. He looked very hungry and angry. So I just let him train. He was sparring Johnny Fisher and Franklin Ignatius. And he looked good and it changed my opinion. And look, Chisora got in there early and got it dirty. Every time they held it, he just kept battering Pulev to the ribs. And he got the decision. I think he fully deserved it as well.
Yeah, Chisora was up by maybe 4-3.
Yeah, I had it 9-3. What am I talking about? I had it 7-5, maybe 8-4. I just think Pulev looked old. He looked old in there. He looked dreadful.
To me, I think Pulev's coming to the end of his career.
To be honest, I think he's done if he don't get the rematch. I think he'll retire on that.
I mean, maybe a trilogy because, it's one of each now.
Well, I have heard that Chisora's fighting Dillian White.
What, for the third time?
Yeah, I've heard that's pretty much done.
I mean, I'll be interested in that because, that the second fight was razor close. I had Chisora up before Dillian knocked him out.
I had Chisora up and I had him winning the first fight. Yeah, I thought he won the first fight. I can't remember why I had it, but I definitely thought he'd won it, 100%.
Well, the second fight, I thought he was up by 2.
Yeah, they just took points off him for silly reasons. But Derek's back with Don Charles now, and Don Charles is another man he's just such a lovely guy, and he's the best man for Derek, in my opinion.
Yeah. So, how many more fights are you expecting until? Do you think Chisora's going to retire next year?
I think the next time he loses, he'll retire. I think. But he does want to go to America, so we'll see.
And maybe fight Wilder, but I think Wilder would be too much for him.
Yeah, I think he'd have to avoid Wilder for 4 rounds to have any hope. But I think once Wilder catches you once, you're going. And I think that's a dangerous fight. That's
a dangerous fight. And I don't... Because I like Wilder and I like Chisora, so I don't really want to see that happen.
No, yeah, I agree. I don't want to see that. I'd rather him fight White.
Yeah,
or Joyce.
But I think Joe Joyce and Joseph Parker's fights over the line.
Yeah, 24th of September. I heard about that yesterday. It's done apparently. Ready to go.
Who do you think wins that? For me, Joe Joyce. He's a
Yeah.
juggernaut. He's just.
I think Joe Joyce is a problem for any heavyweight. I don't think there's anyone out there that I could convincingly say beats Joe Joyce.
Apart from like Fury.
Just don't know because the man's got a head like a concrete wall. Fury would beat him on points, and I think AJ would probably beat Joyce. Usyk would probably beat Joyce, but apart from that, I don't know.
Because Joe has a great chin on him.
Oh, the greatest. Sometimes it's too good, and he lets it happen too much. But you've got to give him respect.
When he gets hit with like from a Wilder shot, do you think he could take the power from the likes of Wilder, Fury, Joshua?
Maybe once. But who did he fight the other week?
Christian Hammer.
Some of the shots he took there, if he leaves his chin open like that against a Joshua, an Usyk, a Fury, or Wilder, it would be good night, I think, after a certain amount of time. But again, you don't know.
What about that Takam fight? Because he got caught with you and that.
Yeah, that was terrible. He was miles down on the scorecard, and the stoppage was absolutely terrible. They panicked and they stopped that fight because they knew he was losing every round.
Yeah, because I mean, Takam looked very angry when they stopped it.
Yeah, I don't blame him. It was terrible, awful stoppage. One of the worst you'll see.
Yeah. If it continued, do you think Joe would have found the shot anyway?
Yeah, he would have probably stopped him late because he probably would have had to. And with his
AJ stopped that Takam late, didn't he?
Yeah, that was a big fight as well, but that was a late change when he's supposed to fight Povetkin and he pulled out or someone like that.
What, the first time?
Yeah, when Takam boxed him, he weren't supposed to box Takam, was he? It was someone else.
Oh, yeah,
I think it was Povetkin, but yeah, look, Takam, apparently he's fighting
Tony Walker.
Yeah, there was someone else as well he'd been offered to, a British heavyweight. I can't think who it is for the life of me. But yeah, someone said about him
Fury, maybe?
No, lower than that. Fabio Wardley.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, he was offered the Takam fight. Oh, Takam was offered the Wardley fight the other week.
I don't really rate Wardley that highly. For me, I reckon Alan Babic is better than Wardley. I like Babic, great fighter.
Babic is good, but he's not a heavyweight. And I think if he fights Dave Allen, I think he loses to Dave Allen.
Really?
I think a fit Dave Allen would beat Babic, yeah.
Another heavyweight who's fighting this weekend, Johnny Fisher. Do you rate Fisher?
Yeah, I do. You know, he lives the life. People will say, oh, he's always out eating and whatnot, but you're a heavyweight. You've got to load yourself with meat, you know?
Yeah, you've got to make the weight.
But that's the thing. They don't even need to weigh in, really, do they? Because they can weigh whatever they want. But look, he looks in fantastic shape and he's got great supports behind him. And I hope he does it.
He sold like what he was saying in the public workout, because I was watching that, about 800 odd tickets.
Yeah, apparently there's nearly 1,000 people going, which is crazy.
That is. How much does like Jack Hughes and Jack Newham and stuff sell?
I think Jack, the punk kid in March, done about 110 tickets. Yeah. Last week, obviously, it was harder because it was the summer. I think he did about 78, 80.
Because Paul said that he sold about 60, 50.
Yeah, that's it. The support was great. And I think Jack Newham, he does all right as well. I think he does around 70 odd tickets every fight.
Have I seen that he's fighting the same night as Jack Hughes?
Yes, 12th of November. I don't think I'm going to be able to go, but hopefully I can change.
Why? Are you away?
Working, I think.
Oh, that's a shame.
But we'll see.
Because if you do go, then you'll be able to support. Who do you get your tickets for like free?
No. I buy them for fighters. I've never taken them for free. The only person who ever gave me a free ticket and told me that he would stop buying stuff from me if I didn't take it for free is Mark Little. So he gave me a free ticket to his fight. But
what, against Mendes?
Yeah, he gave me a free ticket for that. But I bought 6 for my friends as well. So, but keep an eye on Mark Little's Instagram. There could be some interesting news coming soon. You never know.
I would love to see him return.
I think he should return, but we'll see what happens.
Would that rematch with Mendes ever happen? Because that, I know Mendes is coming off of a bad stoppage defeat to Smith. I would still like to see Mark Little fight him and
listen
to Mendes that he's better than him.
if Jamie Smith vacated the title tomorrow and Steve Goodwin rung Mark Little up in Malta and said, "I've got you the Daniel Mendes rematch for the Southern Area title," Mark would fly back from his holiday and be straight down in Will's gym training. That is one thing that
Wait,
would get that man out of
Does
retirement.
Mark train with Will Jones?
He trains down the gym, but his trainer goes down there, Paul Cook. He used to train Kevin Mitchell and his son Nicky.
Oh, so he uses that gym for like training, but he's not.
Yeah, I think he
with Will.
sometimes spars Will as well.
He spars Will.
Yeah, I've seen him spar. Yeah.
So Will, even though was Will ever a pro? Will go pro eventually?
No, I don't. I think he's too devoted to training now. He
He's
was
a
an
good
unlicensed
trainer.
boxer. Oh, very good trainer. Fantastic, and he cares. That's the thing. See, a lot of trainers that don't care. He gives everything to his fighters.
And also, he gave me one of his fighters was fighting at the Copper Box, and he offered me 2 free tickets for me and my dad to go down to support him in his fighting. Yeah, Sonny Linston. Well, I interviewed Sonny as well, but it was good.
He's a good guy, Sonny Liston. I like him.
Yeah, he's a good lad. He has one of the best names in British boxing.
Mental, isn't it? Sonny Liston Alley. What are the odds? But another nice guy down there, yeah. They're all nice down there, to be fair.
Would you ever do merch for like him or like Jordan and them lot?
Listen, if it ever come about, yeah, definitely. But obviously, Will's got his own printing business, so obviously I think it's imprinted, so he does his bits. We've spoke about working on a few bits together, moving forward. But listen, I'll work with anyone. It doesn't matter whether you're white collar amateur supporting or you're the fighter. I'll do whatever I can for you.
Yeah. And my last question is, what? Oh my God! What show are you going to next? Like boxing?
What are we now? Start of August.
Yeah, the 3rd of August. Yeah.
Well, there's one in September. I don't think it's been announced yet, but I'll be going to watch a certain man from Yorkshire fight. And then after that will be the 30th
of
September.
Who's fighting then?
That's the Jordan Perkis fight.
Oh yes. Sorry, yes.
You've also got Joe Giles, Tommy Murphy,
Connor Marsden, who's fighting for some area.
So great little card, to be fair. I can't wait to go down and just watch that.
McKinson's brothers on that as well, mate.
Yeah, he's fighting my mate Billy Allington.
Yeah, that's a great fight.
Yeah, brilliant fight. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Hopefully I can see you down there and we'll get another photo maybe.
Yeah, mate, whatever you need, just, come and see me and we'll do whatever you need.
Yeah. Thank you for your time, Carl. I really appreciated it.
No problem, mate. Keep up with the good work.
Bye, mate.
Speak to you soon.